it took a while, but I'm not that quite done yet. I'm gonna give you guys what I have seen of Boku no Hero Academia, also known as that Boku no Greatness. So with Boku no Hero, we already know that the first volume has chapters 1 to 7. That's how I got hooked on it. So we already know about Izuku. He gets his power from All Might, his #1 superhero, and he wants to become a superhero just like him. However, he didn't have the quirk at the time. He gets the quirk from All Might because of some heroic act that he produced by saving his longtime rival Bakugo. Well, I won't really say long term, but he's still a rival. And he gets accepted into the school called UA Academy, which is a high school for people with quirk. I've read chapters 8 to 50, and I've got to say, it has been a great ride. I love each and every single page. There's not a time where I'm really bored. The only time you're probably gonna get bored with Boku no Hero is that if you don't really focus into the story, which I haven't really found that much of, any tropes or a lot of cliches or anything. Horikoshi, the manga, he seems to know what he's doing, and he really goes into detail, and every character has their own persona. I think it's rare that, you have Bakugo, who's a really explosive character, but I think that's about it when it comes to, types of tropes. Chapters 7 to 12, and it consists of Izuku versus Bakugo because they first come to the academy, and Bakugo, he wants to be #1. Have that fight out in this challenge that they're supposed to do. You have Izuku and you have Ochako. They team up against Ida and Bakugo. It's like some sort of capture the flag type of mission. Obviously, it's going to be a full-out fight. Now we get an introduction as to how Izuku actually acts in the spirit of battle. He likes to analyze and he likes to predict his opponent's next move. He's always trying to stay right there from a range, and then when his opponent starts to come forward and starts to attack him, he's going okay, so he seems to go this way, so I'm gonna go this way. He likes to predict the certain type of moves that his opponent has. Obviously, he's not perfect because he just got his quirk. He's 15. And he cannot handle one for all, so his hand is completely destroyed once he uses it. He still ends up winning the mission with Ochako, except he's completely knocked out, and Bakugo has more experience with his quirk. Chapters 13 to 22 is the second arc, and right here we have the entire class of 1A, and what happened was they were going to this type of water park for some sort of rescue mission to sort of shadow a hero, I think. And this hero's name was number 13. He has an astronaut uniform. And also, on a quick note, Horikoshi, what I also liked about Boku no Hero so far is that the character designs seem to be really simple. He's not going to have anything too flashy, too over the top. Character designs are basically straightforward and out there. We also get introduced to the first two villains, whose names I forget. Well, you have one villain, his name is Nomu, but he gets wrecked by All Might. And you have this one guy, his name is Black Mist. There's another guy that has a hand covered around his face, but I forgot his name. They bring out the goons, and these are the first time we actually see real villains trying to attack Class 1A. They have no idea what's going on. They're a little bit scared or startled, and they're expecting Aizawa, who is also known as Razorhead, to just come in and save the day. Now, I really liked how Isaiah handled things. He was really using his quirk against these villains, but after the first 3 chapters, he actually gets his butt kicked. I sort of found that as a relief to me because when I first saw Aizawa, I thought he was going to be the next Kakashi because I honestly thought, when I first read Boku no Hero, I thought it was going to be the next Naruto, but it's completely turned in a different direction than that, and we have Aizawa. He is going in, but then he gets his butt kicked, and it leaves him with long-term injuries that he has to actually recover from. In this universe, they don't have a senzu bean, then boom, you could do that. Izuku and the entire Class 1A, we get to see more of what Class 1A can do. You have Ochako with her zero gravity, you have Ida with his whatever that quirk is, you have Bakugo with his explosions. We see Shoto and how he uses his ice. We see Suyu and how she can use her frog abilities. And Mineta with that grape quirk or something. And Izuku also shows that he can strategize and make these types of plans when he's under pressure, because there's this one time when him, Suyu, and Mineta, they were all in the ship and villains were just crowding around. Izuku has to think of something quick because he doesn't want to die. So he's thinking, oh, okay, Suyu can use this quirk and Mineta can use these, and I have one for all. So in that type of situation, he knows that his hand's going to get injured again. So he uses that Detroit Smash and makes a complete shockwave in the water. And him and the entire group get away and they escape. Close to the end of this arc, All Might comes in like the badass he is, and he just goes complete beast mode. He completely punches Nomu out of the freaking water park to where Nomu's almost dead. And yes, All Might, he's sort of suffering because ever since he gave his one for all quirk to Izuku, he's starting to have a lower time limit as to how he can stay for All Might. Chapters 23 to 44, which is the third arc, and with this third arc, you have the UA Sports Festival. Now, so far, I haven't read more into what arc's going on right now. I think it's called the Hozu arc, but it's by far the best one. Why do I say that? Because you get more action, you get more character development with a lot of the characters, more in-depth into who they actually are, and you also see how they act when they're in the form of battle with their quirks. Yozuru, how she can use her creation technique not only for weapons, but she can use it for a sheet or something, and a lot of other more characters as well. What I like most about this arc was you got to see more into Shoto and who he is, who his background is. Apparently, Shoto is the son of the number 2 hero that is right under All Might, Flame Endeavor. Flame Endeavor, I guess he's supposed to have some sort of Russian complex. He really just wanted to surpass All Might. Once he came to the realization that he couldn't do that, he said, oh, I can make a son that'll be even more powerful and surpass All Might in terms of being a hero. The thing with Shoto is that his mom had ice powers and his dad had flame powers, so that's why he always had that, one side was ice, one side was fire. And he also had the scar on his face because apparently boiling water was dropped on him when he was 5, and his dad treated him like a dog, or like a soldier almost, He didn't. The way I see it, Flame Endeavor and Shoto did not have that father-son relationship. Flame Endeavor just wanted him to become the strongest because of his own greed for power. And Shoto, he didn't like that at all coming into the sports festival, so he's thinking, if I win this thing just using my ice powers, I'm going to prove to my dad that I don't need him and that I don't like him. Izuku sees this, however, he only sees it from his perspective, and once they get to the battle, once Shoto and Izuku come to battle, Izuku is using his one for all quirk wisely, just using fingers sort of like a revolver or something. This guy goes in, and he is not the wimp that I saw in chapters 1 to 7. This guy is a complete boss. This guy has notes on almost every character in 1A, having strategies on how to beat them. And this guy's prepared. He was just looking down, seeing oh, okay, Bakugo, he's really explosive up front, what I have to do, that's what I just completely like. This is what also separates Izuku from other shonen characters. Number 1, he's not dumb. Number 2, he's sort of having that beta male, alpha male transition. Number 3, he's training his hardest to get stronger, but in the process, he's not doing it saying that only by brute strength can I be stronger. Number 4, he doesn't have any attacks up his sleeve to the end when he's beaten badly. He's always going in with his full effort. And that's what we need to see more in shonen characters. Izuku is a revolutionary in this thing. Long story short, Bakugo wins because he has that I'm gonna be number 1 complex, cussing almost everybody out. I think it's just the translators that kiss manga, but Bakugo cusses a lot. And so far, that's where I've got to so far. I'm on chapter 50 right now, which is going into the Hozu arc. what happens is that apparently during the sports festival, Ida's older brother Tenya, he gets almost killed by this one new villain called Stain, I believe. And the thing that Stain has in common with the other villains, they all meet up, is that they all think that the entire hero business is corrupt, and that with this hero business, it needs to die because people are just in it for the money. They don't really want to save anybody out of their pure hearts. However, the fact that these villains see this means nothing because they want to kill people too. I don't get the twisted logic. It's left wing. Anyways, that's all I've gotten so far. I believe depending on when this video is uploaded, I'm about 17 chapters behind from Boku no Hero. Once I catch up, I will tell you guys what I thought of chapters 51 to 67 or 68 whenever I upload the video. But yeah, tell me your thoughts and opinions on Boku no Hero in general in the comment section below, because I really want to hear you guys' thoughts. And anyways, that's about it for me today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. If you guys like my review, be sure to subscribe. If you're new, I like the video if you liked it. And until we meet again, see ya.